Hello and welcome back to the Nest Metal Production channel here at YouTube, and of course we are here for the first album review for this channel for 2017, and surprisingly it's for Striker. Yes, Striker. They're back with a new album. It was just last year that I just reviewed their album Stand the Fire, which is a very good album. They definitely were showing their mature side, which was definitely what's beginning on their 2014 album, City of Gold. Gone were at least, the sort of very tongue-in-cheek lyrics about beer or so, and just, very honest, almost sort of lyrics. And so, here we are back here in 2017 with their fifth album, titled, well, actually it's a self-titled album. Of course, it gets dropped today, as far as when you're watching. But yeah, this of course is both the third album for both guitar player Timothy Vega and bass player Wild Bill. Of course, debuting on 2014 City of Gold. And if this is of course the first album, and in many ways also the second, just I guess you can say self-release album, which was started last year with Stand the Fire. Of course, that was released independently. Here, this is now released through their own record label, at least as I know, titled Record Breaking Records. So, and of course, this is actually not a long album. The last one was clocking around 43 minutes. Here, this album, because they released this one so shortly, this actually clocks in over 33 minutes and 23 seconds. Not a long album, but right from the first track, Former Glory, all the way to track number 9, Curse of the Dead, this album is chock full with what you would expect that was, beginning on like City of Gold, and of course their last album from last year, Stand the Fire. Just very much that power metal sound, almost very bordering more on the US power metal sound. Very much, showing their influence even for a band that I never really seem to have, clicked with as much as far as, comparison, but I can do hear a bit of that comparison to Law's Rocket, especially with singer Dan Cleary, who really does kind of remind me of a very young Michael Coons. This is definitely a very solid album. Again, first track, Former Glory, Pass Me By, Over the Top, Freedom's Call, and of course the last track, Curse of the Dead. This is, like, again, it's a very chock-full album full of, solid, power metal that's very heavy, almost at times a little thrashy, but because of guitar player Timothy Vega, I think, who debuted on City of Gold, really brought something more to the band. And he's really a very good, a lot of neoclassical sort of shredding and everything, just great. And of course, there is an instrumental on here titled Cheating Death, which is pretty much around 53 seconds, and it's definitely full of ambient sort of, atmospheric sort of tones and everything and effects, and it's very cool, and it's definitely can be, served as a intro to the track Shadow in the Night, which is another solid song and everything. The whole album is, again, like I said, there really isn't a bad song. If anything, I kind of like this one a little bit more, maybe just a hair inch over Stand the Fire, but the thing is, this album is just continuing that mature sound that definitely, began on City of Gold and really showed itself more on Stand the Fire. And this album, well, maybe to some extent not nearly, but I think it's probably just as good as Stand the Fire. There really isn't anything bad with this album. I can't really say that this is their worst thing. Some might say it's not their greatest effort, but the thing is, this is my channel, this is my review, and I say that this is just as good as Stand the Fire. Even for not, being a long album or so, this is, 33 minutes and 23 seconds, this is basically what you get. This is just, to me, just solid power metal. that's pretty much what I can call this album. They really have broken out of the sort of cliches of the new wave or traditional heavy metal movement and really maturing more and more within their writing. And I think they are actually, and like with this album, showing that they are actually, in my opinion, one of the better bands within recent times to come out of Canada. Just a solid album. Fuck. I actually forgot to write a rating down. The channel cannot be as perfect as possible, but if I have to really say, this is probably a 8.90. 8.90 out of 10. Just solid chunk of Canadian power metal. So, within that, I definitely do recommend picking up this album. I do recommend it. This is definitely solid. There's nothing bad with this. This is definitely one, even if you don't think it will be nearly as good, this is still, I think, worth your time if you're a fan of Striker or a fan, of some of the recent, Canadian new wave or traditional heavy metal bands. You'll definitely dig this, and if you like, early, bands such as Lost Rocket, I definitely should check out these guys. Just great, power metal. So that's definitely it for this review. I'll definitely will be back, hopefully, with some more reviews. There's definitely another album that's getting released somewhere. Hopefully, I can get to it. So, hope you had a good time watching the video, and hope I definitely, encourage some people to probably check out this band or check out the album. So, until then, this is Heavy Thrash Shazam out, and I'll see you later.